Well, let's get to that breaking news out in Asheville right now, where dozens of nurses are taking part in a protest right now.
Yeah, nurses there are negotiating a new contract, and they say that they still need to address some important topics. South Carolina's Grace Runkel live there in the middle of the action. We could really see how much this means to them this morning, Grace.
You can see it and you can really hear it. I mean, they've got all these clappers going on, lots of signs. The march is really getting underway right now. Take a look at this. Lots of nurses out here with National Nurses United. That's the union. They're working to negotiate a contract for these nurses here at Mission Hospital. And the nurses tell us that there are still some issues they worry have not been addressed in the process so far. So this picket has been underway since 8 o'clock this morning, and it's really just been getting bigger and louder. You can kind of hear that honking there. Lots of cars honking in support as they go by. Now, this is not the first time in the recent history that the nurses have been picketing here. We were actually out here last year as well, a much smaller crowd. They had not unionized yet, but they were worried they did not have enough PPE to do their job safely. So they were trying to get that message out. They're back in that same spot again this morning, but again, now they're unionized. Now the crowd is much bigger. So those three main issues they're still worried about. They're worried about staff support, so things like ensuring nurses can take their lunch breaks. They're also worried about floating schedules. That's when nurses are moved from department to department within the hospital. And they're calling for better compensation because right now they are short-staffed.
Sometimes there's one nursing assistant to 40 patients, which greatly affects the care that we can give.
And now we actually spoke with a hospital spokesperson this morning who says they've been in negotiations since February. They said they've had about a dozen meetings and said, quote, the parties have reached more than 30 tentative agreements on topics that the union indicated were of key importance and of which have always been of high importance at Mission Hospital. So they actually have another meeting coming up before the end of the month. And we know that Mission Hospital, one of the new agreements that they have, they're creating a professional practice committee. So we're going to stay tuned to see what other new changes come out of this. This protest is going to continue throughout the morning, so stay tuned in our Fox Carolina News app for continuing coverage.